Hi guys, welcome to Brand X Reviews. Today I'm just going to be talking about the sad loss of Adam West, obviously the Batman from the TV series of the 1960s. Very sad really, and I've spoken about this in other videos. You get criticised a lot of the time when you talk about celebrity deaths. If you kind of say, oh, it's really sad that they've passed away, it's really impacted me or whatever. A lot of people are just, oh, get out of here, that's ridiculous, you didn't know them, how can you be sad? It just shows how degenerative our culture is when people are so obsessed with celebrities that they mourn their passing. Seriously, I mean, put it in context. I mean, I'm not saying I'm as sad as, my grandfather passed away a few months ago. I'm like a thousandth of the upset that I have towards that Adam West passing away. But at the same time, there's something to be said. And do you guys really want to watch a video about me talking about my granddad and how I miss him or whatever? No, because you didn't know him, Adam West, whereas we can all get in the conversation there. Which is what's great about movies, really. We can all it brings people together. So that's kind of what I do with this channel. So that in that context anyway, I'm pretty sad that Adam West has passed away because he meant a lot to me as a kid. I mean, this to me, I'm just going to show you this. I've not shown you this before because I've spoken about this TV series on several other videos previously. I've done reviews on the old series, the box set, the Blu-ray box set that came out in late 2014. If you want to watch that, check out a few years ago on this channel. But I just want to show you this because this was my Bible when I was a kid. So I can't really think of many other books that I had as a kid that I used to carry around with me like I did with this. I mean, if we went anywhere, like a family trip out or whatever, this came with me. I mean, this was before we had like mobile phones, smartphones, all that kind of stuff to just kind of be distracted by. We had like Walkmans and things like that. And don't get me wrong, I took that with me everywhere as well. But in terms of reading material, I had comics and stuff, but this was a book that I had. It was a TV series episode guide, and a really nice thing. And it's really sad that back in the day, up till 2014, you couldn't actually buy the Adam West TV series of Batman legitimately. There were pirate copies, and believe me, I owned them. But if you were a fan of the TV series, it was kind of tough. You couldn't have it. So that was really something that was big to me as a kid, and having that book was something that I kind of carried everywhere, really. I took it to school all the time, and I used to get shit for it as well. But there you go. So just in context, this is a character and a version of the character that I've really admired. And I've said in recent times as well, particularly in the last few years, Adam West is my favourite Batman. And that's a position that I defend, and obviously I'm going to mention that here because now obviously he's passed away. But to kind of explain that, I'm of an age where I'm just about old enough to remember a good few years where Adam West was the most recent Batman, and to be fair, the only Batman. Similar to now, you think Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford. There's no other actors really apart from, River Phoenix, I suppose, and the guy that played him in the TV series where he was a kid. But no, Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. There's not really another legitimate competition in terms of, availability. It's not like now where it's like, you want to watch a Batman film? Well, which actor are you going to choose from? Because there's like loads of them. Back in the day, Adam West was the only one, and at a young age as well. The TV series really appealed to kids as well as adults, which is what's great. I mean, the Batman character in general is very open to interpretation. There's very dark versions of the character and there's very light versions of the character, and it depends what works best with you. There is no right or wrong here. I'm not saying he is the best, but he is my favourite. There's a big difference there. And I think what's great, I'm kind of reviewing Batman now, but I think what's great about Adam West, bringing it back into what the point of the video is, he played the character so brilliantly. It wasn't just a case of, right, the TV series is brilliant, let's put an actor in the part. He really brought something to it that I don't know if a lot of other actors could do it with the same level of charm as him and the same level of conviction, because a lot of people don't understand the 60s Batman, and they think that it was supposed to be serious back then, but now we look back at how ridiculous it was and we laugh at it. It's like, no, it was always supposed to be as ridiculous back then as it is now. It was escapism. I mean, if you watch the 60s movie, the 1966 Batman movie, there's an opening kind of title card, and it basically says, this film is dedicated, I don't know the exact quote, but it basically says, this film is dedicated to all those who have a real love of escapism and love heroic characters, and this is dedicated to all you people, basically. And I kind of take that as a personal message as well, because that describes me, really. I mean, it describes everybody, but it's open to interpretation. But obviously, this incarnation, if this is what you define as escapism and what heroes in popular culture are, this is for you. And like I say, going back to Adam West, because he played it with such conviction, whilst knowing it was silly and ridiculous, that was why it was so great, because it was tongue-in-cheek, but it wasn't literally tongue-in-cheek. He wasn't there like sort of breaking the fourth wall and kind of like nodding to the camera, winking at the camera kind of thing. He would play it deadly serious, and he could play the exact same character in a serious Batman as well back in the day. And it would have been great, and he would have been amazing at it. I can picture if they'd have done like a sort of a Dark Knight trilogy in the 60s where it was serious, it wasn't done for laughs. Adam West would have been great in that. I absolutely believe that. We can't picture that possibly because that didn't happen, but if you kind of look at the way he plays a character, he's such a great actor. That's why he's my favourite, because you're watching it and it's like he's given a performance that is as serious, at face value, is as serious as Ben Affleck or Christian Bale or Michael Keaton, whilst the actual context of the piece, the 60s series, is silly and ridiculous. The plot is silly, the dialogue is silly, the presentation, the vibrant colours, all that kind of stuff, the sets, the car, it's all silly, but he is playing it as deadly serious. And I think, like I say, a lot of people think that he thought it was a serious thing. My mother used to say this all the time. She used to say, Joseph, how can you like this? It's ridiculous. Look, he thinks it's like a serious part and it's not. He didn't think that at all. He might have jokingly said that in interviews and stuff. Like, I know he always said, like, when the 80s, the 1989 Batman came out, I wanted to play the part. Of course he did. It was, I would have loved to have seen him play that part as an older man, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he was under any illusion, like, I'm a serious Batman actor here. It's like, no, people just don't get it anyway. And like I say, that was the brilliance of Adam West. That's what I get from it anyway. And really sad that he's gone anyway, because I think, like, as a fellow human being, you recognise when someone passes away, it's sad. You don't have to have known them. This kind of takes me back to what I was saying originally with celebrities dying. You didn't have to know them. If their work has kind of influenced you, or, I mean, I wouldn't say Batman has influenced me, but if it's something that takes you back to your childhood and that you really used to admire and enjoy in terms of escapism, then you can mourn somebody's loss. It's fine. You can talk about it, and that's what the point of this video is anyway. I just want to kind of throw that out there anyway. So I'm really rambling like I always do on this channel, so I'm going to wrap this up. And if you've got any feelings about this, if you agree or disagree, whatever, leave some comments. And if you want to see some more videos where I'm talking about this 60s series, as I say, I think from about late 2014, I was doing some videos talking about the Blu-rays of the movie and the TV series, the box set that they released. Because like I said, they only just released that for the first time officially on any format in full in late 2014, which is great that it's now out, because it was such a good series. It went on for 120 episodes, 3 series, and great escapism, and it's still as relevant today as it was back then. Totally irrelevant in terms of anything, in terms of the world we live in, because you can get TV series like that are great when they come out, like 24 for example. I mean, I didn't watch it, but it was very relevant for the time when it came out. Maybe not as relevant now in some ways, you can argue. Whereas Batman, it was so far removed from reality. You might as well watch it now. It's the same as when you were watching it in the 60s practically. I mean, yes, the fashions, the hairstyles and all that are very different to what they are now, but it's a whole other world. So if you haven't ever watched it, or haven't really sat down and watched it and understood it's not meant to be taken seriously, even if Adam West's portrayal is coming across as a serious acting role, which again is the brilliance of what he did. If you can understand that, you might just enjoy it. So give it a watch anyway. I know Adam West did a lot of other things, but I know him from the Batman series, as so many others do. So I'm going to leave it there because I started wrapping this up about 3 minutes ago. So I'll leave there and say thank you very much for watching.